Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the October 6, 2025 Governance and Priorities Committee meeting. I now call this meeting to order. Members of Council, there is an agenda.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Nothing further to add.
Okay, can I get Councillor Hansard with the motion, please?
Madam Deputy Mayor, sorry, I had that on and turned it off. I move that the October 6, 2025 Governance and Priorities Committee meeting agenda be adopted as presented.
All right, I will call this to question. All in favor? And that is carried. Moving on to public input. At this time, we allow members of the public to speak to Council about anything that is not on the current agenda. Administration, has anybody registered to speak?
Through Deputy Mayor, no one has registered.
All right, is there anyone in Council chambers tonight that would like to speak to Council about anything that is not on our current agenda? Okay, seeing as no one, we will then proceed on to presentations and delegations. This evening we have two presentations. First on our agenda we have Skydancer Indigenous Culture Society and Center. Please come forward with your presentation. I just ask that you speak directly into the mic and please sign in on the sign-in sheet. You just need to push the little button. Yeah.
There we go. Okay. Tanse, Haley Fitzpatrick, Nitsigasan, Ekwa, Stony Plain, Iwikun, Miigwech. Hello, my name is Haley Fitzpatrick and I live in Stony Plain.
And Tanse, I am Diane Mealy. I'm the president of Skydancer Indigenous Cultural Center and I love living in Stony Plain.
Hello, I'm Candace Klein. I am also from Stony Plain. I am the treasurer of Skydancer.
There we go. Okay. Over the last year, Skydancer has continued to experience growth, confirming the need for an organization like ours in the Tri-region. Our programs often fill up in just days and are typically oversubscribed. Our participants come primarily from the Tri-region, Lac St. Anne County, Edmonton, St. Albert, and Sherwood Park. They are Indigenous and non-Indigenous, come from all walks of life, and most attend multiple events and programs. In 2025 so far, and this is till September, we have been able to offer 37 programs, events, and workshops with almost 1,300 participants. By the end of the year, this number will increase to 50 programs, events, and workshops with an anticipated 1,800 to 2,000 participants. All of this has been accomplished by 2 full-time and 5 part-time staff, along with a dedicated group of 8 board members. Did you have anything else?
No, you go ahead.
Okay. In July, we had the VIP launch for Astum, our tourism division. There was a great turnout and feedback was wonderful. We have found that the existing space is too far out, making it difficult to secure rentals. So at this time, we are actively pursuing a more urban location in the Tri-region. We feel this will benefit the region as well as enable us to collaborate with many local businesses on package experiences.
Is there more?
No?
Okay. So what I would just like to add to that is the tourism efforts are to help us be self-sufficient, so that we have never wanted a handout. It's a hand up to do what we do, and we've been very gratified to be supported by the municipal governments of the Tri-region area. And What we're working on this year is the accord. It's an Indigenous accord, and that involves, I guess, sort of entrenching Indigenous ways of knowing and thought right into the municipal government, and that might look, we've taken a page from Winnipeg, and this actually came to the forefront, I believe, after they found Tina Fontaine's body in the river, and so many missing and murdered Indigenous women, and, you know, just, again, racist acts against Indigenous people. So they have rallied, and what an accord might look like is, for example, there would be a proclamation on June 21st, National Indigenous Peoples Day, and there may be in that proclamation the names of some businesses who have signed on to join us on the road to reconciliation and have undergone some cross-cultural training and are actually walking the talk in terms of truth and reconciliation and helping us to make it as large a movement as it should be. And I think it's really important in these times with, you know, I saw some posts, and I know I shouldn't read Facebook, but people are questioning the graves that were found, and that no bodies have ever been found, and there's just that rhetoric of doubt and trying to minimalize, you know, Canada's treatment of Indigenous people. And so I just think it's important more than ever as Canadians to stand for what we believe in terms of truth and reconciliation, equality, inclusion, and most of all, community. I don't feel schmaltzy or corny saying this, but Skydancer is about love. And when people come into our little facility, they are welcomed, probably hugged, and given coffee, tea, bannock, and it is a bright, it's a place of brightness and integrity and I think beauty in our tri-region area, and we're just still getting started with what, 3 years under our belt? Yeah. So hi, Kinas Gomitin. Thank you for listening. I don't know if Candace had anything?
No, I don't.
On September 9th, we were honored to receive a visit from Honorable Richie Valdez, Minister of Women and Gender Equality, Secretary of State, Small Business and Tourism. We were one of only 2 organizations she visited in the Edmonton region. Okay. Thank you for taking the time to hear our annual update, and now I look forward to answering any questions you may have.
Thank you so much. Council, do we have any questions for Councillor Hansard? Please go ahead.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Mayor. To our guests, thank you and welcome to Stony Plain Council chambers. It's actually always a privilege when your group comes before us. I personally always feel like you treat everyone here with great respect, and that is very much appreciated. I want to make sure I didn't miss something important that you said. Did I hear that you're looking for a place that will serve you better, or were you speaking about the past, you were looking for a place and found the location where you now operate?
No, for tourism, we are actually actively seeking a new,
Okay.
closer to the urban setting.
Okay, and if you'd pull the mic real close to you, because your voice is lower and does not carry well, then may I, Madam Deputy Mayor, I have a second question. When you speak of the what you feel is a message that's directly opposite of what you're trying to convey in the whole experience of Skydancer and Truth and Reconciliation. Never once have I ever felt or witnessed anything that appears that you're trying to push your message onto people unwillingly, or maybe in the vernacular, push your message down people's throats. Everything has always been very, very respectful. When you share something in a very delicate way that indicates that you feel that perhaps there's discrimination against Indigenous people, that hurts me. It pains me. And I think we have to all stand against that. But what I thought I was hearing you say was that you're trying to get a support group of businesses that are fully 100 or 1,000% behind your effort. Is the purpose of that to hold them up as an example as to what other businesses ought to be where your organization and Indigenous people are concerned? Or are you simply saying, we have these businesses that support what we do, without trying to guilt or push people into action that maybe they're not prepared at this time to take? I'm curious if you could answer that, and the reason for that is trying to extract a reaction from people that they don't or won't or don't know how to give you is probably not a good thing, and I think it would go directly opposite of what you have been up to now, which has been very well received in the Tri-region. And at the risk of not being able to come back again, because I know our deputy mayor will come back to us after everyone has spoken, I just want to say that your material was presented well, and so many positive things are being done by a relatively small group, and to offer the number of programs that you offer, and so many people affected. I believe I read 1,300 people participated in your programs. That's phenomenal. Phenomenal compared to what we used to see. And so I would congratulate you on a job well done in the space that you've been given, and encourage you to work at a pace where people can come forward to help you better. Thank you.
And can I just speak to that, Councillor Hansard? Astute question, regarding, I guess, some of the, noticing a bit of public backlash, and again, that rhetoric of they should get over it, that kind of thing. So the Accord would help to, I guess, make Indigenous issues a little more entrenched in in a lot of the activities and those kinds of things that go on. And never would we ever think that we would be sort of guilting anybody out for not joining us on the road to reconciliation. But I see that Proclamation Day being a huge time. We do all gather in the park and dance and have bannock, but if there was some real, I guess, evidence that people were joining into into the whole movement of truth and reconciliation, and we could read 50 businesses had undergone training and done some cross-cultural work with us. And I'll just want to say that we worked with Keyera, which is an oil company. We had, I think, almost 20 people in our little facility, and they left like, I had no idea, and we'll be back. And now they support us with a grant, and cups have their names on them, and they've really come to bat. So when we see that, we don't feel like a small group trying to push a big rock or a big mountain. That's when we realize what we're doing counts. So thank you. And I just wanted to add one thing. When I first came here years ago, you talked about a healing garden and a place where people could go, and there might be a gazebo and that kind of thing. And with the culture camp, we are going to have a healing garden as part of it. So we listened. So, hi.
Councillor Palechico?
Thank you, Madam Deputy Mayor, as Councillor Hansard said. Great questions, Pat. Thanks. You hit on a couple of things. I do still have two questions. One is, you talked about having programs in place that you looked after, 37 programs and 1,300 people. But you also made mention that you want to go to 50 programs and 1,800 to 2,000 people. And if I heard right, you're doing this with 2 people? Can you explain how you plan to do more with the amount of people you have?
That number 37 programs was until the beginning of September when I had to submit this presentation. So since then, we have done more programs. We had the Truth and Reconciliation events. We've had Tea and Bannock with an elder. We had Culture Days. So we've had more events since then. And we rely, like I said, on 2 full-time and I believe it's 5 part-time. And we just put in extra hours when we have to. And the board is amazing. Like the board steps in and helps. So it's like having a staff of 13 as opposed to just 5 because they're on board, they're involved, they're engaged, which is not the norm with organizations.
You're absolutely right. You said that well. It's not the norm with, so very well said. One of the things that Pat asked about was the relocation. Will you still be able to contain the small area that you have for people to be able to stop by and have a place to get a bit of a, how do I say it, someplace local along a highway? That location is phenomenal, and when I drive by there on a regular basis, there is a number of vehicles parked in there all the time, and I'm suspecting that the traffic flow is really good. If you take that out to the country, not that I'm opposed, but how will those people know where you are because of the location?
At this time, our plan is to keep that location. And I know there is plans to redevelop the park, but that's not in the foreseeable future. And the only way we would combine the gallery or center with our tourism is if it was a better location.
And then one third thing, if I could, Madam Deputy Mayor. You made mention to a hand up. I don't like that term, quite frankly, because I think what we do here is we're partners. And I think that's a much better term for you doing what we do for all organizations within our community, is we partner with each one of them to move organizations forward. So I think the hand up or the handout is long gone past the day of anything. So please, and from me anyway, think of it as a partnership that we've come to grow on. And I love all that you do, and I think that when I see what you do and watch the amount of people that continue to come, you're doing very, very good work within our community, because it's not just a small group that come, it's a new group just about every time. So continue the great work that you're doing within our region.
And that is, just in quick response, that is how Stony Plain, you're listed as one of our partners on our website.
Our newly revised website, just saying. With more gallery features.
Beautiful. Councillor Meyer.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. And thank you, Councillor Pelechko. You asked a bunch of my, or a couple of my questions there. So I will just flip to my last one. You mentioned well, first, actually, I should say thank you very much. I got to partake in a number of your guys' events, the Missing and Murdered Indigenous Walk. That was a wonderful opportunity to speak with some, lots of people were there, so there was actually lots of conversations to be had. But I appreciate that, as well as the many other events you guys put on. But you mentioned an Indigenous Accord. And in that, you mentioned Indigenous ways of knowing embedded in local government. I'm just curious. I'm not so familiar with the Indigenous ways of knowing. If you could just maybe expand on that a little bit for me.
Yeah, I kind of used that as a catch-all, but say there's a Canada Day celebration. So it wouldn't be a last-minute thing of, oh, we need an Indigenous elder. It would be right in the programming, that kind of thing, because sometimes it's, like an afterthought. So anything that, say, the town of Stony Plain put on that was public, Christmas tree light up, could there be an Indigenous like Iskoteo is how we say fire, that we light up that season. It's the coldest season, but with our personal light, we get through the dark days. So that kind of thing. So there would not be an afterthought. The Indigenous input content would be embedded in the activities that would be a no-brainer, that we would be taking part in. So just to add that richness, and again, let more people know about this amazing people, this amazing culture that our First People have. Because so many people are just delighted when they find out, about animals and, the things that our elders have grown up with. We tend to get a little out of touch with nature and the storytelling. We were telling stories, Councillor Meyer, before we came. I'm a storyteller. I come and do your storytelling, can't even think of the name of it right now, campfires, cultural campfires. So I just don't want to, when people hear those stories, it takes them right back. They use their imagination. They're not looking at a screen. And I think things like that are important, especially for our young people.
Thank you for that response. I am writing down "not an afterthought" as my notes there.
Councillor Anderson, your turn.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor, and thank you for being here this evening. Diane, you just mentioned the importance of Indigenous culture and language and traditions and so on for youth and for, I think you said, young people. At the town, we recently passed our first youth engagement strategy, which I think is a big step forward for us. One of my, I think, favorite presentations I've ever seen from Skydancer was at the end of last summer when you shared about the youth programs that had occurred over the summer months, and had a couple of students in my class attend those programs, and the stories that they shared about their experience were tremendous. And so we see today this list of programs. Just wondering if you could speak a little bit to the programs that impact youth directly, and were you able to continue on with some of the youth programs over the summer, or was that something with all of the other things going on that maybe we didn't hear as much about? So just some thoughts today. Thanks.
We didn't have the youth camps this year because we had applied for funding and it didn't come through, which is common. And some of our other programming, youth are, we didn't plan separate programming. We've just included them in everything and let them have a say or input into everything we're doing. We still are working on putting together the Youth Advisory Council, and that will form as it's ready. But other than that, we just include them in everything and get input at every possibility from the youth.
Perfect, and I certainly appreciate that. I think speaks to the importance of multi-generational relationships and how we all come together. One of the other things that was a highlight for me was being able to attend some powwow dance practice through our local schools in a partnership with Skydancer. Is that something that will be or is continuing? Hesitate to ask this because we're not in school right now, but will continue when school returns this year.
Yes, we do plan to have more powwow practices. They are very popular.
Oh, and can I just add a quick thing? I think about 2 weeks ago or 3, we had a Just Dance gathering right out here, right in the Shikawi Park, and it was for Cultural Days. So if you can imagine this fancy dancer who's a whirl of color crossing the little bridge there, and little kids, playing in the water while they were watching the older people dance. And then, so we would like to keep Just Dance happening, for example, and it could be led by an Indigenous organization, but then there would be free dance after, and then we'd like to explore Ukrainian dancing, Chinese dragon dancing, because everybody loves to dance. And it was amazing that afternoon. We had a beautiful day, and just the children watching the older dancers. was amazing. And to see them up close and personal, not in, like you're usually at a powwow and the movement kind of is overwhelming. And they spoke about what the dances meant. And so we'd like to keep that going on, called Just Dance, once a week. And we're applying for funding, along with 20 other grant apps we have out there.
Perfect. And, you know, I saw some pictures of that Just Dance and certainly wasn't able to attend, but looked like everybody was having a great time. Deputy Mayor, if I may, just quick clarity for some of my colleagues that asked about a transition for sort of the travel programs. You also, with the Aston Cultural Camp, opened up a program on the shores of Lac St. Anne, and there's some property there, and set up some teepees and teachings. And I believe that's the part that you're looking for, something closer to town to be able to host groups and so on. But that your spot just off the highway there is in a good spot, and I think plans to do some renovations or some reimagining of what that space looks like. And so always exciting to hear those things. So thanks for being here.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Councillor Anderson. Councillor Laurie.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Mayor. Thank you very much for the presentation. It's always great to see you in chambers. Councillor Anderson just took the last point that I had that I was going to ask about. So again, it's wonderful to hear from you, and I guess I'll expand maybe a little bit on that, because I do understand you just opened that cultural camp this year, and so I understand you were talking about a little in the presentation about its location and just kind of hard to attract people to there. Are there some key struggles that you're finding with it? Do you feel that, you know, there's things that maybe could be done to help out in making sure that people are aware of where it is, or the access to it? Or is it simply the location is just too big of a challenge?
The location is definitely the biggest challenge, and the fact that there's nothing around it. People want to go and have an authentic experience in an urban setting. So it's a catch-22. And we feel that by having it somewhere more urban in the Tri-Region, we can approach other businesses, package the experiences so that, you know, maybe you can go to dinner at a nice restaurant, go see a movie, and then come back for story time by the fire and sleep in a teepee. You have a full, well-rounded evening. And that's the type of thing from our research that people are actually looking for right now.
No, appreciate that, and thank you so much. And I know, Lisa, we do have lots of great local business groups, things like that. I'm aware of one other similar venture in Alberta in Métis Crossing, and I do know that Métis Crossing is kind of the same, where it's actually a little bit away from services and from other locations and things. And so have you kind of chatted with them at all about how they've been able to make it work on their site, and maybe some learnings and things that you could bring back to this area?
I have not talked to Métis Crossing. I have dealt quite a bit with Travel Alberta, Explore Edmonton, Indigenous Tourism Alberta. And that's basically what we found. Like, we had a lot of interest, but people, when they realize how far out it is, then all of a sudden there's hesitation.
Excellent, thank you. And for those who don't actually know where it is and that are maybe tuning in on YouTube, could you describe where it is? Because I don't know that I'd describe it as that far out.
Yeah, so it is, if anybody knows where Darwell is, on your way to, is it on to Jasper? Yeah, because I get these two highways mixed up. And so it's actually a little subdivision to the east of Darwell, about 5 kilometers east. And it was hard to find. It wasn't, you couldn't find it on GPS the day we had our VIP opening, so it just, you couldn't find it. So that was a concern, and yeah, it just seemed to be a way, not on a well-trodden byway that people could easily find. And I don't know if that hour, that's kind of the, people will travel an hour. Well, this was 50 minutes, so it kind of is under that, but yeah, that's what stopped a lot of people, Haley was saying, when they did call.
Okay. Excellent, thank you. Well, I do appreciate it. They said it is 33 minutes from here is to the location. So again, they said not that far. So hopefully, if you aren't able to secure a more desirable location, you can certainly continue to press on with the location you have and make success with it. I think said the time sometimes to establish. I think Skydancer has been the fantastic benefactor of becoming a very important and a very recognizable group very quickly. And I just would like to think that the same may happen for the camp if it's given a little time. So appreciate it. Thank you very much.
I also used Google Maps when I attended, and the 33 minutes is a bit of a miscalculation. As I was closer to the 50, the 33 took me to the an empty field, actually, and went a little bit sideways for me. Ended up showing up a few minutes late, but certainly it was a bit of a challenge to find. I know you had some signage and stuff to help us get there, but appreciate the challenge there. Listening to you share and listening to the questions, I can't help think we have some lands over by the Pioneer Museum. That might be a great location. I don't know, look to our staff, but lots of opportunity a little bit closer to home that I know we'd love to have conversations about. So thank you again.
Actually, that area would be perfect with blueberry, the festivals, and it would be a no-brainer to just walk through the museum and have an Indigenous experience with everything that goes on at the pavilion there. So, Tom.
I was going to say, I hope we didn't put him on the spot, but we see a smile over there.
I'm kidding.
So yeah.
I just want to add to that, it's much the same as what you see now at Fort Edmonton with their beautiful Indigenous Center that they've put into Fort Edmonton. I mean, I've been going to Fort Edmonton since I was a kid, so really it's awesome and cool, but my new passion is obviously in the Indigenous Center, which is new and bright and shiny, so it's something definitely to think about.
Awesome, I appreciate
And
that.
certainly they've set the bar. I don't know if they had Disney involved with some of their displays, but if you've been there, it's absolutely mind-blowing. And to have something of that caliber, perhaps on a smaller scale, would definitely be a draw for Stony Plain.
Okay, I'm going to look around the table one more time. Councillor Hansard, you were wanting me to come back just in case?
Madam Deputy Mayor, if I speak again, I'm going to correct somebody, so I'll be nice this evening.
You're nice every evening, Councillor Hansard.
You tempt me. It's not our job to find the place. I think Councillor Anderson was brave to suggest such a thing, but it obviously will be a new council backing an administrative suggestion as to where something like that might go. But would we like to have you in Stony Plain? Oh, I think so.
Thank you.
Councillor Hansard. Okay. Looking left, right, everybody's good? Awesome. Well, again, thank you so much for coming. I truly appreciate it. Diane, you mentioned those hugs. I definitely am one for them. I love them. I love walking into the Skydancer Center, getting a hug, feeling like you're part of family, regardless of your background. So what you guys do there is truly amazing. Councillor Meyer mentioned of all the different events that you guys have been hosting that many, if not all of us, have had the privilege to be part of. Even our staff get to be part of it. So again, it's just that arm's reach of that extension of what you call family. So thank you for everything you guys do. And I hope that this camping area does become a huge success for you. So thank you.
Thank you.
Seeing as there's no more questions, yes, thanks for coming this evening. Our next presentation this evening is the Yellowhead West Pickleball Club. We welcome you to come forward for your presentation. I ask that you print your name on the sign-in sheet in front of you, push the button on the base of the mic, and speak directly into it, please.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for having us here this evening. Thank you to Madam Deputy Mayor Loynes and the councillors present this afternoon. I appreciate the opportunity to address you all and bring you up to date on the success of Yellowhead West Pickleball Club. My name is Carol Bazell, and I am the president of our club. And beside me is our coach, Brenda Horlick. Brenda is an IPTPA, which stands for International Pickleball Teaching Professional Association. She's a coach and rating specialist, and she also plays pickleball at the national level. So Yellowhead West Pickleball Club is very grateful to have Brenda work with us and her players. Yellowhead West Pickleball Club has experienced, sorry, how do I move this? There we go. As you can see, we were so blessed to receive an award from Pickleball Alberta in 2024. There were certain criteria in order to be chosen for this award, and I'll just read some of the criteria that was set out by Pickleball in order for us to be chosen. We had 6 nominations for the award, and it basically was recognizing a club that has grown its membership. We are actually just now over 400 members of Yellowhead West. The club that achieved great accomplishments that support the Pickleball Alberta values of fun, transparency, open-mindedness, inclusiveness, and promoting an active lifestyle. We excelled at various programs, including recreational play, competitive play, player development, engaging in the community, and junior development. We were honored to share this achievement with our wonderful members on this evening. And I think you will remember Councillor Anderson, who is in attendance with Mayor Choi, as well as Mayor Alan Gamble and Councillor Kobasiak. It was probably one of the worst weather nights that you could choose to have a celebration because there was a lot of snow, but we still had a great attendance from our members. We played pickleball on the courts as you joined in, and Mayor Choi, I should have added some photos of you both being on the courts. But it was a great time had by all. So we were very, very proud to share in this accomplishment because our club has worked very hard to promote inclusiveness. So we're very grateful to be able to do that. One of we kind of try to look outside of the box on how we can include the community to come and share the pickleball courts with us. And we were so grateful for Brenda Horlick, our coach, because she, along with friends of hers in BC, had actually developed a pickleball program for people with Parkinson's. So Brenda was gracious enough to teach. We invited, put a feeler out there and asked people with Parkinson's if they were interested in coming to play pickleball. We had about 7 or 8 people attend our Try Pickleball evening at the pavilion, but actually 5 of them decided to sign up, and Brenda graciously gave her time for 6 weeks to show them how to play pickleball safely on our courts. We're very proud to say that those 5 players play every Tuesday, and we have a volunteer that stays on the court with them to make sure that they're safe, they're taking their time. People with Parkinson's must keep active. It's one of the first things a neurologist would tell you. In order to prevent the progression of the disease, they must keep active. I speak from experience since my husband's here tonight and he has Parkinson's, and it was just a coincidence. So we didn't choose Parkinson's because of that. It was Brenda had already approached me about this, and we just saw it a great way to have some different people to come and enjoy the game as much as we do. So thank you to Brenda for doing that. In the past 18 months, Brenda has actually, that was previous year, Brenda had coached 118 people to how to play pickleball. So that's a large growth in pickleball in our community. We already have 12 registered to go through Brenda's Learn to Play program. We're definitely a busy club. We run on only volunteers. We have 5 people who are on our board of directors. Of course, myself, our Vice President, Kerry Clark. He's with our juniors right now. He was unable to attend. We have our secretary, Ashley Secord, our treasurer, Campbell McPhee, who is sitting behind us. Our community events coordinator, Dallas Rushton, is behind me, and our member at large, Jan Robertson. We also have 16 volunteers that actually help get all of our systems up and running on a daily basis. We not including our board of directors volunteers time, but just the 16 volunteers that we do have, accumulatively, it works out to approximately 45 to 50 hours a week of volunteer time. And that doesn't include our board of directors, where we probably put 3, 4, 5 hours a day. It's a lot, but we're happy to do it. We're happy to see our club grow. I wanted to bring to your attention some of the community engagements that we've done aside from the Parkinson's. We did receive a grant from KidSport for our junior program, and we're still spending lots of time and effort into trying to build it and make it bigger than it currently is. We have 15 junior members that have signed up to play, and we just finished with a brand new 15, basically try it program. So we're hoping that they're going to come in and join the previous 15 that we had. Also, we have 80 children that come from the Parkland County Homeschool Association to play on the courts. First time they showed up, they had these little plastic spatulas that look like you're going to flip an egg. And they were playing pickleball with them. So we were able to secure real pickleball paddles, and we've decided that we're going to keep them on the courts so that they're there for the use of anyone that wants to come and try to play the game of pickleball. I think we have about 35 paddles there now, so we're able to host people who may not have the equipment that aren't a spatula that flips eggs. So we were happy to do that for them. And they're scheduled to return to us this November. And so through this KidSport program, this is what we're funding all of our juniors through. We're buying them the proper equipment, and we have certified coaches that are actually on the courts with them, teaching them the game of pickleball. And it was quite interesting because a couple of the children that have come back this year, 2 of the girls specifically, have already got their goals set on going into provincials next year, and actually really have the desire to progress in the game of pickleball. So we're really excited to see where that takes us. 15 of our members volunteered for the Farmers' Day Parade, and we appreciate the opportunity to make sure that we are visible in the town of Stony Plain and in the community. We did attend the information night at the Stony Plain Pavilion as well as at the Tri-Leisure, and we really felt it was quite surprising. It was quite surprising to see the amount of people that stopped at our booth who didn't know where we played, even though we were at the pavilion. They say, well, where do you play? We say, look below, you see that white line? That's our pickleball lines. So we did attract some people with children that wanted to have their children exposed to a different sport, but we also were able to recruit some adults as well at that. So we appreciate that you do that, and we're happy to attend. Of course, we have our annual Luck of the Irish Pickleball Tournament. And last year we had our largest registration with 258 players that registered to play. It was a very successful event, and we partnered with Brain Care Centre Edmonton, and we raised a total of $2,250 for this cause. And might I add that when we did our when we do our Parkinson's, when we did our large Parkinson's event. At that time, we raised $2,390 that we donated to the Parkinson's Association of Alberta. And every year, just also to recognize Parkinson's Awareness Month, we try to keep it fun from our members. We want to make it fun and not that we're always asking for donations. So we kind of put some jars out at the tables when they play that night. And the fun in it is that if they say sorry, they have to put money in the jar. We try to discourage people slamming the ball. It's called an overhand smash. And if we catch somebody doing that, you could hear everybody on the court say, "Hey, you smashed the ball at me. You weren't supposed to. Better put money in the jar." You know, different things like that. We're trying to do fun things, but we raised $700 this year just by doing that. So everybody's willing to participate in the goals that we set out, and we're very, very thankful for that. And of course, for anyone that was in attendance, Councillor Hansard, Councillor Anderson, and Mayor Choi, I believe, were at this event where it was a groundbreaking ceremony for the new pickleball campus. And of course, we were very grateful to be asked to be part of that because, as you know, we're providing players to play at this facility, but unlike our competitor club, we don't have the $2 million to actually support what they're trying to do with the outdoor courts. One thing we were very proud to do, and I almost missed it, so I apologize for that. We were the official sponsor of Team Alberta. Brenda was part of Team Alberta, and we were so proud to have our name on the back of Team Alberta's jackets, Yellowhead West Pickleball Club. And because of the 15 people that we had that were offering to help with the parade, the money that we received in gratuity for that, we put towards Team Alberta so that we could give back to Brenda, who's given, and players on Team Alberta that have given so much to us. So that was we were very proud to do that. And of course, we have been in communication with our other club, who has the same amount of members that we do. We're equal in membership. And we've come to an agreement where we're excited to announce, and I hope everybody received that email, that we are coming together to create a new pickleball club so that we can share in that space equitably. And that new space is going to be huge for our members because we're actually going to be able to offer many types of plays for many people. We have over 400 members, and only a third of those members are members of the other club. So if you put all the numbers together, there are a lot of pickleball players in our community. And we hope to continue to offer the same type of services that we are now in the new facility. But currently, because of the grant, we are paying for the juniors. We're looking after all the, 90% of those fees, right? So once that grant is gone and we're in the new facility, which is going to cost a lot more for our members to play, we just want to look down the road and see what is available to us so that we can provide the same type of service that we're offering now. So at some point in the future, we may come and seek your advice as to how we can perhaps partner with you to do that. And I mean, at some point, if we come together and create a new club, I can see the possibilities of it coming, the possibilities are there for 700 or more members to be in one club. And at that point, I'm not sure it's realistic to say that we can rely only on volunteers at that point. It's already a lot. So we might come to see if you'll partner with us or assist us or direct us on what is available to us so that we can do it properly. So as you know, the new facility is proposed to have 14 indoor courts and 28 outdoor courts, which does make it probably one of the largest in Canada. So we're quite excited to see where that would take us. And we really thank the town of Stony Plain for offering their services with us while we've been meeting. Really, we've been meeting for a year now with the other club, trying to come together to bring something that our community deserves in one club. And so, of course, we have Carl Hill here. Carl has been great at helping keep us on the right track and with great suggestions, as well as Jerry George. So we appreciate that, and we hope that will continue, and thank you for offering that to us. So in closing, I'd just like to say thank you. I appreciate you giving us the opportunity to talk about something that we're all passionate about right here. This is just a small group, but we are very passionate pickleball players, and thank you for giving us this opportunity.
Thank you so much. Council questions? Councillor Anderson?
Thank you, Deputy Mayor, and thank you both for being here. You mentioned Brenda went to provincials, but if I'm not mistaken, she won bronze, I believe, in provincials in her category. Did I get that right?
Silver.
Silver.
Sorry.
Okay, my apologies.
Sorry.
My apologies.
No, silver in 4.5 mixed, 50 plus, and we are over 60, so we were quite proud of that. And then at the Canadian Nationals, bronze in women's 4.5, again 50 plus, and we're over 60. So we're trying to change that. Pickleball Canada recognizes that there are seasoned players over 60 because there's nowhere for us to play and compete. But thank you for that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, and I'm glad I didn't miss with the bronze. So there was a
You were
bronze in there,
close.
but
You
there
were
was also a
close.
silver.
You were very close. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Certainly an amazing representative and advocate for our region, and we really appreciate that. I also appreciate that you didn't have pictures of William, Mayor Choi and I, because one of your athletes and her 10-year-old grandson took it to William and I, and we couldn't even compete with the two of them despite our best efforts. But we had a great time trying to keep up, and so it was a great opportunity for us to experience something new that we hadn't previously had the opportunity to try. No questions really, but just tremendous appreciation for all you do in our region. Certainly, our council has prioritized accessible, low cost, low barrier recreational activities, and pickleball fits right in there with all of those things. And mentioned earlier our recent youth engagement strategy, and I know the last time had the privilege to sit down with members of your club, heard all about the junior program and the work that's going on there, and so it hadn't gotten off the ground yet, and so to hear that you've had upwards of 30 athletes participating in the junior program is absolutely amazing. And we know that with a merger with another club that those good things are just going to continue and hopefully scale up. And so thank you so much for all you do in the pickleball community. We're certainly appreciative of all of it. Thank you.
Councillor Palechko?
Thank you, Madam Deputy Mayor. I'm absolutely astounded by what I hear tonight in the youth programs that you actually are participating in. I think that says a lot for your organization. Just recently, I've been playing a little with one of the locals down the road here a little bit, and I've been told the whole time I have to go watch Brenda. I need to learn how Brenda plays.
Oh, dear. We have an opening coming up, though. Challenge.
So I think overall, and you guys talking about the merger of the clubs, I think that is really important. But I do want to make a point. The people you have sitting behind you, that's what makes a club.
Absolutely.
When you come to make presentations to our council, having the support of your club behind you says a lot for the club.
Absolutely.
So, welcome everybody. It goes very well noticed by all of us at council table that when we see individuals come, we know that that club works well together. It also helps us when we're working together. Oh, can't hear me, sorry. It also helps us to understand how well those organizations are doing. But I think you're doing very well with the youth, and obviously your club is growing, and it's nice to see that the two clubs will come together and support the new pickleball place, because I think it will bring a lot to this region and will do a lot for the pickleball in the area. So congratulations on all that you're doing, and I look forward to the continued work with the two clubs working together and moving that organization forward. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Palechko. Councillor Henderson, just before I give you the mic, I just had a quick question, because we keep talking about the junior program. Can you just tell me the ages for your junior program?
Absolutely. We've got 7-year-olds to, I believe, 13 or 14-year-olds right now. I think we capped it off at 15. I believe we capped it at 15. Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, Councillor Hansard, your turn.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Mayor. Couple of thoughts go through my head as I read this in our package and as I listened to the presentation this evening. One, Councillor Anderson is a really good sport. If he shows up at these things, he'll do just about anything to show how enthused he and council are about this. So, yeah, I want to give him recognition for that, because he'll do things I will not do. So, the other thing is, I've studied a little bit about pickleball, thinking, is this a doable? That's not an easy sport. It's like killer. Lacrosse and whatever else gets thrown together. You guys beat each other up out there.
No, she's...
Am I scaring people away?
Brenda's constantly teaching us about patience.
Oh, well, Brenda, sharpen up a little bit there, because some of what I've looked at online is really scary. So I'm thinking, I don't know. I don't know if this is really for all ages, and yet you have older adults. I'm just wondering if this is something that you might come back with your silver medal and be recognized in council for this silver medal, because we do that, you know. For our young sports teams, why not? The other thought that I had is, what excited me most was the medals that you have, and the way the pickleball club is being recognized, because it is a relatively new phenomenon in the sports world, and for it to have grabbed so much attention and risen so highly in the sports world is amazing to me. And to think that we have this right here. The most exciting thing was that the two pickleball clubs are working together. Whoever brought that about deserves congratulations and an award. I can tell you, over the long time I've been on council, there have been numerous organizations that could have, should have work together better to be stronger and better for everybody and the whole community, the regional community, and unfortunately didn't. So what they've been able to accomplish in the public eye is somewhat limited. But that this would be a new sport, and that you would embrace each other as two separate clubs coming together to make things better than ever for all of you. That is the most exciting thing that I saw here. So congratulations on that. And I'm looking very much forward to the next opportunity to see Councillor Anderson go at it on that court, and no, I will not play him.
No, wait, sorry.
I'm going to take you. You're coming. One of my oldest students is 84. So I'm heading out to Pigeon Lake to do 2 days with seniors out there, and they're super seniors, like they're 75, because when they go to Florida, they're going to show them how Canadians play pickleball. It is truly for all ages. You do not have to have an athletic bone in your body. You can play it. It's inexpensive, and it's all about... I've met some of the most incredible people in my 60-plus years of living through this wonderful game, and it's all about respect, kindness, mentoring. It's just absolutely good for your soul, and I encourage each and every one of you. COVID broke a lot of people, and there's a lot of people who will actually share their storytelling with you as well, that pickleball saved them during COVID. So I encourage all of you as a corporate to come on out one day and have some fun.
May I reply? Thank you, Madam Deputy Mayor. Now, why did you look directly at me when you said, you don't have to have an athletic bone in your body? I used to be in fact, I took third place Texas championship in 10-pin, the really big bowling ball. I was good at that. And volleyball and basketball. So I do have an athletic bone. It just may be sort of semi-retired, so.
I think I just fired you up to come on out, and that was the point.
Councillor Hansard, you can take Councillor Anderson. He just said a 10-year-old took him.
Well, I'll hang on the fact that he is a teacher, and somewhere along the line, maybe he'll become a teacher for me.
Awesome. I love the good laughs around the room. Thank you so much for coming. I thought it was really neat that it said the most significant growth you had was between the ages of 35 to 54, which majority of us all fit in. Yeah. So that is wonderful to see that. Okay, there's 7 of us, 4 of us fit into it. Can't help it. We enjoy our older than 54 crowd.
I'll challenge you to a game there, young lady.
There you go.
We good?
We could, there you go. Again, thank you so much for enjoying the time with us. We appreciate the good laughs here at the table, so thank you.
Thank you for having us. We appreciate it.
Next on our agenda is the adoption of our last Governance and Priorities Council meeting minutes. Councillor Palechko, if you don't mind.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Mayor. I think I've got that down now, do I?
It's a good thing it's the last meeting.
Exactly. That the October 6, 2025 Governance and Priorities Committee meeting agenda be adopted. Oh, I'm on the wrong, sorry. That the September 2nd, 2025 Governance and Priorities Committee meeting minutes be approved as presented.
Members of council, you had the opportunity to read and review the committee meeting minutes from September 2nd. Were there any errors, omissions, or corrections? Seeing none, I will call the question. All in favor? And that is carried. We have no business items this evening, so we will move on to our council discussion. And I will start with, Councillor Anderson.
Nothing for me, thank you.
Councillor Meyer.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Just a question through you to administration. Actually, there's 2 questions. The first one was, I met a resident while outdoor knocking, and anyhow, they were, they had some challenges getting a business permit, and the lady was noting how she was going to miss the opportunity to, as most people get their children enlisted in activities in September. She kind of missed the boat for that uptake. But it does make me think of, I know schools are on strike here, so I'm sure parents are looking for activities for the children to go to. I'm just curious, if the town has noticed any maybe uptake or uptick in potential businesses requesting permits so that they can open maybe in response to meet some of this demand. So maybe that would just be the question there.
Administration.
Deputy Mayor Loynes, through to Councillor Meyer, rest of council. I want to say that we haven't seen much of that. I don't know that I could speak for the entire organization or what's come in, but I see one of the general managers shaking their head no. So I guess if the question is, do we see an increase in building permit or business permit applications to provide services, specifically during the potential school slowdown or lockout or strike or whichever way you want to call it? I don't believe so. And I'll just maybe, if the general manager of planning and infrastructure has anything to add to that, but I don't believe so.
To Deputy Mayor, to all of council and Councillor Meyer, to the CAO's point, we haven't seen it's to the best of my knowledge, I haven't seen an absolute uptick in relation to the recent changes in the school and the school strike. It isn't something that we haven't individually broken out to see if there is any trends to see otherwise, as the CIO noted. That's the best answer I could offer to that at this time.
Fair, and I thought about actually shooting this question to you guys ahead of time, so maybe I appreciate maybe it'd be a question that you couldn't respond to right away. I would just point it out to my fellow councillors. I think it is something that behooves us during this time to be responsive to any potential opportunities there for residents to, I believe that the provincial government is providing some dollars. I'm sure business-minded folks in our community would be keen to both provide that service and fill a need there. And then just another question. I know the reservoir, the Meridian Heights Reservoir, most of the work is being completed there. I'm just curious if administration could just give a brief update to what remains to be done there.
Through Deputy Mayor to Councillor Meyer, all council, the majority of the work inside the reservoir itself is completed. Now there's still some work to do on the site completion, mostly in the road work. I know was driving by there just the other day, saw that they're still pouring some concrete and finishing some road work out there. There was an update that went out, I believe, in one of our news releases that there's some paving planned. So, we are wrapping up. It is coming to an end. Do expect it to be wrapped up this month. We're looking forward to having the entire site completed and ready for people to use it as they normally do.
And sorry, if I could just repeat that back, you said you do expect it to be completed this month? I wasn't sure if I heard that right.
Through Deputy Mayor to Councillor Meyer, we're aiming at the end of this month, yes. Hopefully sooner, but that's the target we're all aiming for completion.
Thank you.
Anything else, Councillor Meyer? Councillor Laurie?
Thank you, Madam Deputy Mayor. Through you to administration, I'm just wondering if we have a street sweeping schedule lined up for this fall. We've started to notice that we have a very significant buildup of organic matter in many of the gutters that seems to be blocking storm drains along some of our major routes like Golf Course Road. I haven't seen any signage or any notices or any equipment out, and so just wanted to follow up on that.
Through Deputy Mayor to Councillor Laurie, all of council, I'll take that question back and maybe shoot you an email. I don't have any specifics on any scheduling for a full program right now, but it's something I could respond back to you.
Okay, thank you. I will endeavor to try and send you a list of some of the locations. We've got some pretty big buildup in some areas, so thank you.
And that's all for you. Councillor Hansard.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Mayor. I'd like to mention just a couple of things and then ask a question at the end. One, I wanted to speak to the wonderful experience of attending the dedication of the wind phone over at the hospital property on the lower level under a gazebo. I actually took Councillor Laurie's advice and went over there at a bizarre time when it was really quiet and the wind was blowing slightly. I feel like I might have experienced very similar to what he had shared with us in that ceremony was his experience after his wife Tasha passed away. That is a wonderful addition, and it can be privately enjoyed by one person. Don't have to have a crowd, don't have to rent the gazebo. You can just go and use a telephone connected to nowhere and everywhere to carry your messages to loved ones who have passed away. And I just wanted to say thank you for that. It was a good event, but it was even better to use it myself. Also, very happy about the announcement that was made at the Westview Health Foundation Gala about Stony Plain getting word that the provincial government had signed off on us receiving a CT scanner at our hospital, and then a lot of money has to go into creating the space for that. But what a great piece of news we all got to share, because all of our council was in attendance at that event. And then the Pioneer Art Club will be having their art show at the Legion on this Saturday, October the 11th, from 10 to 5. And that experience that people can have where you appreciate art and culture, we'll definitely get an art experience there at this event, and I would encourage the public to go to that. If we let them know that it's appreciated and that people will attend, maybe they'll host another one. So just letting the public know about that. And the question that I have, I've noticed in my neighborhood along 44th Avenue, there's about 5 addresses where the people are piling in the gutter 3 thick. I believe those mats are probably 1.5 to 2 inches thick, 3 of them deep, piled the whole width of their driveway in the street. And I believe that's to assist them in getting up the hump of the curb so that they don't have to have as much of a struggle. Are those good to have in place for the winter months when the snow plows are trying to clear? Because once the snow goes and there's any kind of a melt, they'll be frozen, and they'll be frozen together. It's almost impossible to move them. And then the snow plows have to go out and around, leaving the piles of snow, which do interfere with everybody along the way. Do we have anything in place to require that people move those for the winter months for easier road maintenance?
Through Deputy Mayor to Councilor Hansard, you're describing I believe you're describing the plastic mats that are there, that the rubberized mats that people can purchase and put down at the curb, so it makes their transition from the street to their driveways a little easier. The short answer is that is I don't believe we have a specific bylaw against using them, but we do encourage them to be removed. The plows will find everything in the curbs, and they do. I know the operators from time to time will, despite their best efforts, find these, and they will have to either move them aside or dispose of them if they do. So if they are damaged, they aren't things that the town generally replaces. But we do encourage that people will take them out before the winter seasons if they are using them. We do recognize that everyone has different needs to get into their driveways depending on their vehicle or their circumstances. So from time to time, people will use those for their own personal use, but we don't encourage them over the winter.
Councillor Plechko.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Mayor. A couple of questions I have for this evening is Range Road 12. Sorry to surprise you, like I always ask this question. I'm just wondering if there'll be a major grading program for that road to get it back in shape prior to the winter. There's been a few graders go over it the last little bit, but the blades don't seem to quite hit the gravel.
Through Deputy Mayor to Councillor Plechko. So you're correct. I know I've spoken to the crews about what they can do out there. They found, I believe they found a couple of soft spots that they had identified that they were going to spend a little bit more time on. So if there's some spots that they've gone over and you're still seeing some issues, if you could just email me those locations, maybe I can have them look at it a little more specifically.
Okay, maybe what I'll do is I'll send you an email and maybe we can go for a ride and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about.
Through Deputy Mayor to Councillor Plechko, sure, I could definitely meet you out there and we can go take a look at these spots.
Okay, thank you. And the second question is for some clarity around the garbage bins. I've been out walking a little bit and it's a pretty common question I've been getting is, a standard fee of the $17.57, I think is what it is, what we charge for whether it's a 250 or a 135. And I'm just wondering if you can speak a little bit to that. Is that a standard fee that is allocated to each one of the residents for garbage pickup within our community? Is that something that the trucking company has a specific price? And the reason I'm asking that is lots of people are wondering if they go down to the smaller garbage bins, why there is not a reduction in cost of pickup.
Through Deputy Mayor to Councillor Plechko, the pickup fees from the, I believe this was in the presentation, the tipping fees that we experience in the contract are the same. It costs the same cost whether it's a certain size bin or not to pick up the bin. Now the size of bin and the amount of solid waste that you could put in each bin varies, and that's where the cost savings come down to. So the actual pickup cost is integrated into that cost, and they're all the same regardless of the size of bin. But the size of bin, the amount of trash that you effectively throw away is the difference in the cost that people see, which is why they believe that there's a difference in bin costs of I believe the 120 waste cart is different from the 240. So there is a cost savings there. I'm just quickly trying to pull it up right now, but I do know that's where the savings would be. The rest of the costs, such as the administration fee, the pickup fees, are all the same.
Okay, so if you could just have a look, because when I looked online, it was, I believe, don't hold me to exact number, but I think it was $17.57 is the number that was related to whether it was a 250 or a 135 bin. So I have a 250 bin, I'm going down to the 135, I still have the same cost pickup as the 250. The additional charge for the extra bin, which is the 135, was an additional $15 per month. Is how I understand that and read it.
Through through Deputy Mayor Loyens to Councillor Plechko, this might be something easier for me just to respond back to you. I like I said, I'm just trying to get all the numbers back in front of me. I'm a bit flat-footed right now, so if I could maybe respond back and put these numbers in clarity to me, that would help out.
Yeah, that would be greatly appreciated. That's it, Madam Deputy Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Plechko. And for myself this evening, I'm actually kind of shocked nobody else mentioned it, but we do have our candidate forum on Thursday. So just mentioning that, it will be at Heritage Park. There's no fee. However, the Chamber has requested that our residents register in order to attend. Other than that, that was all for me this evening. So that brings us to the end of our agenda and the end of our governance and priorities for this council sitting at the table today. And I will call the meeting adjourned. Thank you.